Yeah, so we're doing some different things, but we're trying to keep the main thing right now still, and that's play with great effort. That's the most important thing to Coach Newberry and to Coach Cronick right now is our guys playing with great effort, elite effort, and we are throwing the ball a little bit more, doing some things. So myself and the guys are very happy about that.
Well, I was going to say one big difference is there's only one receiver on the field usually at a time, so that kind of reduces the reps. I mean, does it make it more important that whichever receiver is out there is performing?
Yeah, it does. We have a really competitive room right now. We got a bunch of guys that are vying to play this year, so it's been fun at camp.
So you mentioned about throwing the ball more and having more opportunities, but it puts pressure on the guys to make plays. If they are targeted, they got to make that.
Yep, I believe you asked the guys got to make plays when they get targeted. I think that was a question getting cut out of it, but yeah, it does. It puts a lot more pressure on the guys, which it's something that they're excited about. You come to the United States Naval Academy, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and it's something that they're looking forward to.
So what about Nathan Kent? I mean, here's a guy that is a world-class sprinter, and everybody feels like he should be, taking the top off the defense and breaking long catches. Where is Nathan Kent?
Yeah, so Nathan Kent is a special young man. It's unbelievable what he does, where he goes from football to track and has no break all summer long. Obviously, he was doing the qualifying for the Olympics, which led right into football. So he had no summer to go home and do anything. So what he's doing is incredible. And the thing that impresses me the most about Nathan Kent is his work ethic. Um, he comes back to football. He's obviously behind the curve a little bit, doesn't know the plays, but he works so dang hard every day to catch up to the guys. And now he's caught up. He stays after practice and catches balls off the jugs machine. He comes up to the film room. He's the first guy up to the film room. And that's what's the most impressive about the young man.
So both Coach Cronick and Coach Newberry said he just needs to, 1,000 reps. He needs to, just, like you said, get caught up for missing spring ball. I mean, do you feel like, Coach Newberry mentioned route running. He needs to improve as a route runner. Do you feel like technique-wise, fundamental-wise, he's where he needs to be?
He's not where he needs to be. Now, as a coach, you're always going to say that. He always has work to do. I thought he's had two really good practices, back-to-back days, the Saturday practice and now this morning, which is I've been really, really happy with him the last two practices. So he's heading in the right direction.
So I don't have my roster with me, but the other day at the scrimmage on Saturday in a scrimmage situation, Strauss Hughes pointed out the receiver. He was wearing the yellow jersey on Saturday.
Luke Hutchinson. Luke Hutchinson.
Yeah. Is he showing you something, Coach Hutchinson?
Yeah, he's done a really, really nice job. He's a incredible athlete. He works very, very hard. He's a guy that we just moved over to wide receiver not too long ago. But we're really, really excited about him and the progress he's making.
You're muted, Wags.
Uh-oh.
What about Croy Myers? Where's Croy? Croy Myers.
Yeah, so Croy's obviously coming off his ACL, and he's working his way back into things. He's still not fully healthy. He'll do half the practices. Sometimes he'll get through a full practice. So we're slowly working him back in. But he's a work in progress. He's coming along.
Hold on a second. There's some people playing music. So is there a receiver that I have not mentioned that's showing you some things that is going to be in the rotation that you think is going to be a playmaker?
We got a lot of guys right now. I mean, those are the top guys right now, but we have a lot of guys that are working their butts off, doing everything we ask them to do, learning our culture, which is the most important thing. You can't play Navy football if you don't know the culture and how hard we play. So I think we got a lot of young guys that'll have a chance. I'm not ready to say they're there yet, but I'm excited about them.
So going back to how things are different in the wing T, are you running a lot of different routes? I mean, in the triple option, it was kind of the same route. So, there's obviously the play action, you ran deep, but is there a lot more routes for the wide receivers in the sense?
Yeah, so there's definitely more routes. The route tree got bigger for the guys, so we're spending more time on the route tree and doing different things, which makes everybody in the wide receiver room, including myself, very excited.
And we used to talk about the importance of blocking for the wide receivers in the triple option. Is that still an important element?
Yeah, absolutely. That's who we are still. All our wide receivers are going to be able to block, and they're going to be asked to block still. It's something that there's a fine line of people saying, "Hey, we're going to throw the football more," and being able to be very, very effective in the run game, which we're going to be. So that's that balance we're trying to find right now of how much time we're practicing on the run game stuff, how much time we're practicing on the pass game, make sure we're ready come August 31st.
And last for me, in terms of special teams, do you expect and do you demand that a high number of your wide receivers be on special teams?
Yeah, that's something that we've always talked about for the guys. Make sure you're on special teams. That's something from Coach Newberry. Coach Brown is the starters. They play on special teams. So those guys aren't running away from that. We got a bunch of guys trying to get on the teams.
So one last question, going back to Nathan Kent. I mean, with the speed that he possesses, do you think he can be a real weapon in this offense?
I do, and we're going to need him to be a real weapon in this offense. In Coach Cronick's offense, the X receiver is the go-to guy that catches a lot of passes for a lot of yards. So we're going to need Nathan, we're going to need Luke, Hutch, whoever we put in there to be highly, highly productive for us.
Hey, Nathan, good to see you. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Nice to see you as well.
Well, so kind of talk about, missing spring camp. And I know you're a varsity track athlete and a very good one. But it's tough to do two sports, and part of doing track means that you miss valuable time in football. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. Missing spring ball is huge. Obviously that's time that you have to, in our situation, learn a new offense. And I didn't get that, or it's time to work on your craft. It's time to get one-on-one time with the quarterbacks. Obviously, I didn't get any of that on-field training. I was in the meeting rooms, 5 times a week every day when we have lunch meetings and whatnot. But not being on the field definitely makes a difference. But thankfully, due to Coach Connick's help and Coach Joe and their willingness to always allow me to come in late in the day or early in the summer to watch film and just sit down with them and to find time, on the back half of the summer to take the quarterbacks one-on-one and get some extra work. I don't think it's a detriment to my play at all. Would it be better? Of course. But I kind of enjoy being a double sport athlete.
So do you feel like you're getting caught up, or do you still? Coach Cronick said you needed 10,000 reps, but do you feel like you're starting to get back, to where you're up with the other receivers that did go through spring ball?
No, I do feel confident. Thankfully in the room, everyone's very supportive. And on top of that, the offense, it has a lot of cool things, but it builds on itself. Which means that once you learn kind of the building blocks, it's kind of easy, and not easy as in not a lot, but easy as in you can kind of follow and make the right decisions. So I've picked it up. I want to say I feel really confident in it. I'm not going out there and having missed assignments, every day, and there's been days where I don't have any. So I'm thankful for the support that Coach Cronick has given and taking the extra time to sit down with me and go through the playbook.
So what do you think of this new offense? Coach Cronick is talking about throwing the ball more often. Receivers are going to play a more prominent role in the passing game. What are your thoughts?
That's great. That's awesome. I'm here to play my role. I have been for the last 2 years, and that's what the wide receiver room does, and that's what I'm excited to do. It's just play Navy football. So whether that means I get 5 catches a game or 0 catches a game, I couldn't be more happy.
So the first time you touched the ball in a game for Navy, you had the reverse that went for a touchdown, and I think ever since then, Navy fans have been waiting to see more of that. Do you feel that what the last couple of years you have not been, or last season I should say, mostly you have not been as prominent a role in the offense? Are you looking forward, and how much do you want to have a breakout season and be the playmaker that everybody thinks you can be?
I mean, that would be great. But that's like I said, that's not really the reason why I love playing football. I love showing up. Now, when my name's called, I do need to make a play. And if it's a big play, it's a big play. But the wide receiver room here, we just love playing the game, and if that's for us to make a big play, then that's for us to make a big play. But I'm just going to enjoy playing the game.
How can you translate the speed that we know you have to the football field? It's not being fast doesn't automatically make you a great football player. How do you take that innate advantage that you have and make it work for you on the football field?
Yeah, absolutely. Track speed isn't necessarily football speed, and they don't exactly correlate. That's 100% true. But I think my job, a lot of what my role in this offense is to be a deep threat that can take the top off, which opens up a lot of routes underneath. And I think the track side that does help is I feel like I'm well conditioned and I can run a lot. So being able to repetitively take the top off and just threaten the deep ball opens up a lot for the passing game and for the running game. And if that's my role on this team, then I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
I've seen you after practice working with the jugs machine, giving yourself extra reps on catching the ball. It seems like you're putting in a lot of effort to try to get to where you need to be.
I mean, absolutely. That's my job. If you're not putting in extra work to be where you want to be, then you probably don't want to be there very bad. But I don't consider it that much extra work. It's really easy. I'm thankful to have the manager staff that's willing to stay out there and to shoot those jugs. So I'm very thankful for that.
Okay, is someone else on that wants to ask questions? I don't want to dominate the time.
Yeah, we have Sheehan Birch from CBS Sports. Sheehan?
Hi, Bill. Great questions. Nathan, congratulations, first of all, on your Olympic trial performance. That was really amazing and fun to watch. Can you just talk a little bit about and you kind of mentioned it, that track speed doesn't necessarily correlate to football speed, but just how have you been feeling just going from where you have to add in the change of direction and all the different things you need to do with running your routes, how that translates from what you did on the track to how you put that onto the football field?
Absolutely. Yeah. No problem. It's you can't rush it. You gotta, there's not a whole lot of time, but you have to take your time, because we learned last year that when I try to transition too fast, when you're only taking left turns for 6 months and all of a sudden you got to take a right turn, it can lead to some injuries. But we were smart this year. We played it safe. Just kind of worked in, day by day, slowly introducing that change of direction and the other things that you do in football that you don't necessarily get on the track. And so I'd like to say that my body feels really good. Obviously, it's football. You're going to have, little bangs and little bruises here and there. But I want to say that the strength staff and the medical staff took a really good job of getting me back on the field and without delay.
Awesome. And you mentioned that you met weekly or daily with your wide receivers during lunch. And are you able to do that? Can you go into detail with that? Is that in Bancroft Hall or in your lunchroom, or how does that work?
Yeah, so that's during spring ball, we have meetings at every lunch period. It's the same during the football season. And during that lunch period, you eat real quick, and then you come over here to Ricketts and we watch, probably about 30 to 45 minutes worth of film, make sure everyone's okay, and then that's kind of the football that I was able to do. And then, obviously that's reviewing practices, watching film on install, and then they go out and do it. Well, I get to watch.
Got it. And then a couple articles that I've read about you with all the records that you've set. I know that you broke the 400 meter at the Olympic trials, but you hold a couple other ones. What other ones do you hold that you know of at Navy? And what is your favorite event?
So obviously my favorite event is the 400. Well, is the 4x4 relay. That's my favorite event, without a doubt. But at the academy, I currently hold the 100 meter record and then the 400 meter record. I have the 200 meter record, but the win was slightly illegal, so it doesn't technically count towards the record. So I'll go ahead and get that one next year. That's the goal. um, but yeah, so I have the 100, the 400, and then both the indoor and outdoor 4x4 100 meter relay records.
Also, and are you the anchor on the relays?
I was this year, yes.
Bill, you can hop back in if you want to.
4x4 is one of the best events in sports, not just in
It's
track.
so fun to watch. It was
It is, and in my opinion, probably one of the most fun things I get to do to compete in.
Wags.
Nathan, Coach Newberry had mentioned that you needed to improve your route running. Is that a particular area of emphasis in preseason?
Absolutely. Every day we work on it. If I was to get on this call and try and say that I'm a great route runner or a great pass catcher, you'd probably say, where are the results? So there's obviously a lot of work to be done, and you just kind of got to chip away day by day. I spent a lot of time going back watching the film of previous Navy players who have excelled here in the passing game, like Jameer Tillman. And then I've also, thankfully, with the DV Sport app, we can also get to watch some Navy or some NFL games. So I go back and, I like to watch, NFL wide receivers and the way they go about it. And, we're only on, I think, day 9, day 10 of camp, something like that. And every day I'd like to say that, it's gotten a little bit better. But there's always so much room for improvement.
Do you watch any Mick Yokitis film?
I can't find any Mick Yokitis film. I think he hit it somewhere deep, so we'll never find it.
So Nathan, there's only one wide receiver on the field normally with this new wing T as opposed to two. Does that make the competition even more stiff that you're not fighting for two starting spots, you're fighting for one?
Yes, you are technically fighting for the spot. But one of the reasons why, I love playing football here at Navy, and especially in the wide receiver room where we call ourselves silverbacks and playing for Coach Yo. Yeah, we want to start, but I know whoever's going to see that field is going to be just as prepared as I am, because I'm as a second class and as one of the leaders in the room, we're going to make sure we're all ready to go. So if I don't get that start on the field, then I know who is going to be ready. And so we push each other every day in practice, just to be that much better. And yeah, getting the start is great. It would be my first start ever. But more importantly, we win the game. That's the goal. And so if it's not me out there, then it's not me out there, but we're gonna do the best we can to win.
Is Croy Myers the leader in that room?
Croy Myers is our position captain, yes.
Can you talk about Croy and what he brings to the table and the leadership he provides to the rest of the Silverbacks?
No, absolutely. So Croy's real first year in the room was kind of the same year as mine, my freshman year, his sophomore year, but he was a slot back who got moved. And it was awesome to watch him grow as a person and as a leader, and now someone who's able to hold other people accountable because he does the right things. It's easy to listen to what he has to say. He's always willing to give advice, and he's always able to take advice as well. He's someone who I think who has matured a lot in this room, and it is awesome to see that he's someone that not only I can look up to, but trust to do what needs to be done. And I'm very thankful to have him in the room.
And who are some other guys that have impressed you? I've mentioned when I was talking to Coach Yo, I've noticed Hutchison has been doing some things on the field. Who are some of the other guys impressing you out there at the wide receiver position?
Yeah, man, Luke Hutch is a dude. Luke Hutch is a dude now. He actually on the little catapult things that we wear on our back. I think he hit like 22 miles an hour or something like that during summer workouts. So as far as
Wow.
football is concerned, technically he's faster than I am.
Really?
Yeah. So he's a speed guy, and man, he's when he stays healthy, I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with out there when we get in games, and I'm excited to see what he does. Obviously, Regis, when he gets back from his knee, he was doing summer training, so he just kind of got to work back into the football. Carter Stepp was a linebacker who got moved to our room this year. He's still figuring it out. You know, his first year ever playing wide receiver. He's a senior, but man, does he know how to play hard? And that's something that inspires the entire room, gets the entire offensive going. When you have someone who plays with as much heart as he does, so I think it's a great addition. And yeah, as far as the young guys go, man, Luke Hutch, I think he's someone that the defenses will play won't know who he is until he's out there, and I think he's gonna be a real problem.
So what do you hit on the catapult?
I think I had the fastest time at camp so far at like 21.4, something like
Okay.
that. But I'm never really been I think they're a little off, you know. That's my little biased opinion, but nah, it's all right.
All right, I'm good. Thanks.
Sheehan,
I just was trying to write down. What did you say Luke hit on the catapult? Did you say he was 22?
Yeah, he's gotten over 22 miles an hour on the catapult, which is fast, flying.
Yeah. I guess just, just you touched on a little bit, but just kind of the biggest things you're looking forward to in this new offense, just kind of, and how you can see your self excel.
Um, once I think once we get out there and we see what this team is capable of, it's going to be that belief that hey, we can make every play we need to make, and even if we go out there and get a 3-and-out on the next drive, we can score in 1, 2, 3 plays easy, because we have the guys to do it. And I think Coach Cronick, not only does he have the X's and O's, but he also has the personality, he has the character, and he has the leadership to really change his offense around. And ultimately, it relies on us players. But with Coach Cronick, I think it's a great start, and I'm just excited to see what we could do because we have so many athletes on our side of the ball. I just think it's inevitable that we do something real well.